Here comes round 4 of Grand Prix Barcelona. Welcome everyone to round 4 Grand Prix Barcelona. There's Arnhush and Beth on the right, Alexa Telerov from Serbia on the left. They are ready to get it on with Blue Black Colossus against Team of Marvel, Rich Hagan in the booth, alongside the might that is Rafal Levy. Raf, what can we expect out of this match?
This is pretty tough to say because, well, I haven't seen this matchup played. But let's see. So Alexa is playing the Blue Black Colossus. So he will, in the first place, play some artifacts, some maps, some puzzle knots, maybe some caravans, cultivators' caravans, to be able to
prisms, maybe prophetic prisms,
to be able to cast his Metalwork Colossus for very little mana.
Yep. Sometimes as little as none.
0 mana.
Yeah.
While his opponent will try to gather some energy, play Etherworks Marvel, and spin it to get an Ulamog.
Yeah. Get Smart says no Riley this weekend. Yes, Riley's here, and he'll be along in round number 5. He'll be right along with you, so no worries there. Riley and Matei will be in the booth next up. So you'll have the dulcet Aussie tones of Mr. Knight. But meanwhile, as Arnhush and Beth goes from 5 energy to 2 with a Thopter, courtesy of the Whirler Virtuoso.
So Alexa does not did just say, I'll take 2. Like he did block one of them, I think. Alright, he has a Metalwork Colossus in hand, but he's not casting it just yet. He has 3 mana worth of artifact in play. So that would be 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6. 6 Colossus mana available. If he plays Caravan, that adds up 3 plus 1 for the next turn.
So it looks like it is Cultivator's Caravan. Down it comes. In a sense, it's a 5/5, but more importantly, it's a mana. It's mana ramp. Ace Clown, the meter things that showed who was in front, the advantage bar, as we rather tastefully called it, that's a feature of Pro Tour coverage. We just don't have enough bodies on site to keep the advantage bar going at a GP. I imagine if we had an advantage bar, Raf, right now, we would say things are pretty much even at the moment.
Yeah, since Arn does not have a Marvel in play or in hand, that means he does not have the advantage.
Right.
But he has ways to dig for it. On the other hand, Alexa does not have a Colossus in play, and even if it did, well, he cannot attack yet. So the game is far from decided.
Right. So we're going to see a Hedron Archive next from Alexa, then a Metal Spinner's Puzzle Knot.
So he's 11 mana worth.
And now here we go.
So it's 2 Colossi now.
Yeah, because Sanctum of Ugin lets him go and search up the backup Metalwork Colossus. That's also going to cost, well, exactly 0. Apparently you are the advantage bar, Raf.
Okay,
well done.
I'll take that. I'll take that roll.
Good job.
I'm just checking if he has any other targets for the Sanctum of Ugin. What does he want to get? Does he have any anything else that he wants? Maybe
So I'm trying to remember from last week, last weekend at Utrecht 2 weeks ago, whether he did actually have anything else that could sensibly be got.
Maybe the options would be Thought-Knot Seer, would be Elder Deep Fiend.
Let's see, he's got a...
Oh, we have the list.
We've got the list now, so...
Walking Ballista.
Yeah, there's
I think that's it.
Deadlock Trap, but, that...
No, you can't. It's only creature, I think.
Yeah, so There's nothing
So
helpful there.
walking ballista.
But he's gone. I'll have another metalwork Colossus, because that turns out to be Enor Mouse.
So Arn played Glimmer of Genius.
And that was just like, no, Metallic Rebuke that.
Metallic rebuked. Thanks to the 2 puzzle knots and the cultivated caravans for the blue mana.
Arn has a little bit of a sigh and a pass the turn, and I can imagine why he's worried, because the table's been reinforced while you weren't looking. We now have multiple metalwork Colossuses in play for that man, Alexa Telerov from Serbia. 2 cards, Cultivator's Caravan, and looks like an implement. Their Implement of Combustion. He runs a couple of those main deck.
To deal with the Sahili combo. Attack for 22. So Arn must be careful not to go down on life too much, because he would be dead to Key to the City. Like if he takes 1 hit, then Key to the City is lethal next turn. If he has it, of course.
The chat seems to think it's Colossi, not Colosseum.
No, Colossi. Let's see.
Well, especially in Spain.
Well,
Colossi.
no, if it's Latin like I, Colossi, that's not a
Legit advice.
That's not a sonority in Latin.
Yeah. Legit advice, that's master puppeteer. Thank you. How much longer is this running for us, Meddling Mage 88? It's only 7:25 a.m. on the east coast of the USA. Good morning, America. Welcome along. This is round number 4 of 9. You'll see all 9 rounds live here today, and then we will be straight across the pond to your neck of the woods, Grand Prix, New Jersey, where we expect to join it round about round 5. Depends how quickly we get done here. Somewhere in round 5 probably is our ballpark. For when you get across to Grand Prix New Jersey. They've got tons of features lined up for you. Perhaps some of the earlier rounds you'll get to see on tape delay, as it were, but then you'll see live 5 through 9 from Grand Prix New Jersey. 14 rounds a day this weekend you get live at the home of Magic. But Alexa Telerov is going smashy, 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 and Arn Huschenbeth, with his 7 energy, is trying to think, well, are those 2 Thopters? I'm not winning the game with that. Where's my Marvel when I need it?
Yeah, I made a mistake last turn. So it attacks for 22. He attacks for 20. It costs 11, but it's 10-10.
Yep.
So I think he can just block, like... He needs to be able to spin for... the first... If he draws Marvel, he needs to be able to spin right away. Or does he have enough mana to cast Ulamog here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Oh, he's 1 mana short. He was 1 mana short. Maybe the last card is the Ulamog.
Treebeard the Ent.
Actually, he was 2 mana short because he didn't have enough energy.
Treebeard the Ent, you've confused me. I thought Octopodes was a Greek philosopher, but apparently not. Telerov at 14, Huschenbeth at 9. Advantage squarely with Telerov, and yet not yet at the point where he can just punch through. And Huschenbeth looking at the double servant and Whirler Virtuoso, which is down to 1 Thopter's worth of energy. But again, his route to victory seems to go through Marvel, and he doesn't have it, nor does he have enough energy to get there at the moment, Raf.
There was a line where Alexa could have attacked with the bird as well, the crane. Because then if Arn plays Ulamog, he will exile both of the Colossuses, and then he still needs to attack somehow. So the crane could have dealt some damage. Because he's going to counter the Ulamog with the Rebuke. The actual creature is not going to be there.
Right.
But the effect will still have exile the Colossi.
So we noticed I think it's just a one copy of Deadlock Trap in Alexa Telerov's deck, and that has appeared now. You see that at the front of his hand. Very distinctive artwork on that one. Metal Spinner's Puzzle Knot draws a card for Alexa, who's down to 13, but that'll be fine from his point of view. Here's another Glint-Nest Crane. Let's take a look. Prophetic Prism we see there.
Another Colossus? Is that Colossus? Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. And strangely, he brings that to the front.
Yeah, because he's going to have all 4 of them in play. Because he has another Sanctum. Attack for 20. But now the Marvel is not helping anymore.
Right, so now it's just double chump. Here's number 3. I just demonstrate to you that I have more than enough mana to do this. Sanctum of Ugin.
I even have 1 extra. Actually gives you 1 mana. No, it doesn't. You have 12 mana worth of artifact in play.
Right.
Of non-creature artifacts in play.
Indeed. So at that point, he goes and fetches out number 4. The set is achieved. The big 4. Sweep up your permanents on Hoosh and Beth, one would imagine. It's got a Whirl of Virtuoso and a land in hand. And he's not at about 80 life, so I think he's not going to last very long.
As for my job as the advantage bar, I would say advantage Teleroth.
What we could do
yes.
is if you want, because they talked about turning it into sound, if you just like say the name louder when you think they've got an advantage, so it's like on Hoosh and Beth against Alexa Telerov, and then they'd have an idea of what was happening.
I like the tennis thing better. Advantage Teleroth. Yeah. I like the more sober, the more.
So does that mean in a moment we get to go game first set Telerov?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, to be fair, what could be more appropriate for a Serbian?
Yeah.
Doing very well. Game and first set.
Yeah.
Novak Djokovic, of course, the world's #1 tennis player, behind Andy Murray. Smash, smash, smash. I'm going to make these. I'm going to get in the way. I just take 2 from the Flyers, and then I sweep up my permanents. That's game and first set. Alexa Telerov.
First set. Yeah, best of 3, so it's probably set, yeah.
Yeah, we'll call that first set. Alexa Telerov leads by 1-0 with Blue-Black Colossus. Now, elsewhere in the feature match area, we've got Niels Norlander with Tima Tower. He's up against Federico Delbasso, who's list I did get a glimpse. You see Norlander in the white shirt on the left in the middle, Delbasso helpfully with his name on his back in the middle. At the near side, you've got Javier Dominguez, one of the great Spanish players of modern times. He's on Mardy Vehicles, playing the classic matchup against your friend Raf Remy Fortier with 4-color Sahili. And you were telling me he's got some interesting stuff going on in terms of what he might be doing to improve this subtle matchup.
So in the sideboard, the French team, or his team, with Louis Deltour and other French players, Julien Henry, they have two dampening pulses.
Okay, so dampening pulse is
in the sideboard. Dampening pulse is a 4 mana enchantment.
Right, blue enchantment, right?
3 blue.
Mm-hmm.
Your opponent's creatures gain -1, -0.
Okay, so yeah, just to walk through why that's significant, because that doesn't sound like that big a deal. It's like, okay, so my 3/4 is a 2/4.
So it's a very good way to deal with the combo, the Sahili Feather Guardian combo, because Feather Guardian, you can make 1,000,000
1/4s,
0/4s.
Got ya.
And they don't do they can attack, but they're not gonna do much. There's no real way the Sahil deck can destroy it. Maybe they run 1 Nahiri, but it's very unlikely, and they don't board in natural state, or not natural state, but like ways to destroy the enchantment.
A question comes in which I can answer for you, Tetsuo.
Fragmentize, sorry.
Okay. Are WotC employees allowed to play in Grand Prix? No, they cannot. Very straightforwardly, no. Not allowed to do that. You can play in all sorts of lower rules enforcement level events, but at the point at which WotC employees are potentially winning cash prizes at their own events, as it were, no. I think that's what they call conflict of interest. So, no, not allowed.
And the other good thing about dampening pulse is that they cannot crew the Sky Sovereign. It's much harder to crew the Sky Sovereign.
Because everything's losing power.
So
that's super cool.
The Thopters are 0-1, so if you play a Virtuoso, it's a 1-3, and you make 0-3s.
That makes 0-1s.
So you need 2 Rogue Refiners, or Rogue Refiner and a Virtuoso. It makes it much harder to crew the Sky Sovereign. So that's the piece of technology in the sideboard to get a little edge in the mirror.
Is it legal to use a phone headset? Asks Janine Ali. No, it is not. No electronics once you're underway. Now, you'll sometimes see players come into the feature match area wearing headphones and they're listening to their sick beats, as the youth of today may apparently call them. But once the game is underway, no, headphones off and off you go. Not the same, of course, at some of our Premier events, like at Pro Tours, where we are specifically asking the players to wear a specific set of headphones because they're required to do so to block out crowd noise and commentator noise and so on. But no, they absolutely can't do that. I am very much down with the sickness, chat, I can assure you. No, that was. I see what you mean, Janine. Yes, no, that is Stephen Leeming, who is our life bar operator and cameraman down in the feature match area, and he is hooked back into not so much the broadcast, but our director, Richard Miller, so that when we're talking about things that either need fixing or want clarification, he has a little talkback system to work with Richard, who's off to my left.
He's also throwing a sig beat.
And he is also, yes, flowing the CB. So we're away. Niels Norlander now, who's 1-0 up. Norlander showing Mardu Ballista. I have him on Teamer Tower. So I think, yeah, he is Teamer Tower. So if we can get that sorted out, Rashad. If we can just get that. Mardu Ballista is not correct for Niels Norlander. He is on Teamer Tower. In this one. Federico Delbasso is indeed on Mardu Ballista. There we are, Teamer Energy. For Norlander, you see the Dynavolt Tower, and energy is going to be very important for the 2015 MTGO World Champion. Josh Utter-Leighton's the 2016 version. We wait until the following year to actually crown the champion.
So Neil's stuck on 2 lands. He's not facing much aggression.
I think that's fair to say. I think we can call a single Thraben Inspector on turn 4 not a lot of aggression.
So he's just shocking it not to discard if he doesn't draw a land. Now he's 7 cards.
Wow.
Shocking an Inspector is not exactly what you want to do.
So here's Toolcraft Exemplar. Spire of Industry turns up with no useful home at the moment. He's got 2 of those. And there's discard from Norlander. It was 2 lander, but it wasn't enough at this stage anyway.
That was a good one. Finally, the third land.
Yeah, here we go. But still passing. It's got a disallow there. So we're still pretty early in this one, but why don't we head back to our main match? It is Alexa Telerov against Arne Huschenbeth. Telerov leads 1-0 because he counted to 11 repeatedly and found not 1, not 2, not 3, but all 4 of his metalwork big creatures.
Is the Golem or Construct?
It's Construct, I think. Chad will tell us.
I don't think they make Golems anymore. They make Golems? Mineral Colossus is a Golem or a Construct? We asking or?
Yeah. We're asking chat. We're well aware we could look it up. We've decided to let chat tell us.
I think it's a Construct.
I think so too.
I miss golems. I like the golems.
iFall and TV's first one in. He says it's a construct. So we've got Renegade Map and Metal Spinner's Puzzle Knot for Alexa Telerov. He's got the option of a Glint Nest Crane, but he's going to go with Implement of Combustion up next. Then he lays Spire of Industry. Obviously, in his deck, Spire of Industry is basically never going to go wrong for him. Vindicate tells us that the Colossus is a Snake Elf Druid, which is not the most helpful answer I've ever heard. He has not been vindicated. He's about to be, though.
So now Negate and Alexa Telerov is pretty much dead because the Marvel is already in play. And that's...
So, Willa Virtuoso, we're up to 6. 6 is the magic number for Arne Huschenbeth. He now has the Marvel rattling away, just eager to turn sideways and spin the top.
Blue-Black Colossus has a very hard time dealing with Marvel once it's in play. Its clock is not fast enough. Like, it needs to play artifacts first, then play some Colossus, some 10-10 artifacts, and then attack. So it takes a while to set up, while not really having many ways to interact with Marvel.
The thing is, of course, it is possible that the Marvel just misses sometimes, right? I mean, look at this. It's like, huh.
If he misses now, he's gonna have many more activations.
Right.
I don't think
Right.
Alexa has a lot of ways to deal with the Marvel once it's in play and start spinning.
Mm-hmm.
I think Arn did not have to counter that Caravan.
It's going to send in with the Whirler and the Servant,
But
and now he has released the Gremlins. It's just for one, and he removes the Metal Spinner's Puzzle Knot, which has the chance to draw Alexa more cards. So he's putting pressure on. Alexa has 5 cards in hand. There's a Glint Nest Crane there, which can stem some bleeding for sure, being 1-3, just a nice little, just a nice way of dividing up the stats for a blocker.
Release the Gremlin was a Rain of Salt, destroying 2 lands here, but destroying the Puzzle Knot, the Black Puzzle Knot. Just basically like getting rid of two mana.
Wow. Yeah, you see, I'd not thought of it in that way. Just I was thinking, oh yes, okay, I've killed one of the artifacts, but yes. Hedron Archive. That's good news for Talarov. Let's see what Glint Nest Crane. Looks like there was a Colossus straight there. Yes, there we are. So that joins his 2 other cards in hand. He passes. He's at 14 right now.
He's getting one life a turn thanks to the Inventor Sphere.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have another Sanctum in hand?
So he has 1 in play.
Destroying that Puzzle Knot was crucial because now he's not going to be able to chain all these Colossuses. Well, he might be able to play 2, but not 3. Oh, is that another?
It's another release.
Another release. Oh,
yeah, and you kill off the Hedron Archive, don't you?
That's
there it goes.
There's no card that kills. Oh, there's a card that kills six lands. Oh no, there's not. A Hex is 6 creatures.
Yeah, exactly 6 creatures. A card that kills 6 land. What does? Yeah, Tectonic Break. That would get there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If you spent enough.
Yeah. Well,
that's an X,
or
right?
Armageddon would do it too, but.
Yeah, we're stretching a bit, aren't we?
Yeah. Isn't there a Planeswalker that destroys six permanents or something? An ultimate, like a Sorin does something like that?
Chat will let you know, I guarantee.
Oh, that's good. It's a huge step back for Alexa here. Like not having access to the archive, so not being able to play the first Colossus to fetch the other one, and not even gaining 1 life. That's a little bit of salt. We talked about Rain of Salt. That's a little extra. Like not gaining a life. He's on 10 life, facing 2 gremlins, servant, virtuoso, and a threatening marvel. Arna has no energy left, but if Alexa manages to kill the creatures, then he will refuel on energy, and then he'll be able to spin it again. Ooh.
Radiant Flames, that is a semi 4-for-1. Although actually, to be fair, it kills off the...
And 3 energy, that's... He didn't want to play...
No, didn't go for the 3.
Oh,
just tidied up the 2/2s.
Does he have a rebuke? Well, even if he had a rebuke. Huh.
So block.
Oh no, he didn't want to give an extra energy to Arn.
Right, because when anything dies off the Marvel, you get an energy. A Johnny -7, destroy all lands target player controls, says Fixit89. Thank you for that.
Sorry, how did he get to 4 energy? He had 3. Oh, he played Etherhub.
Etherhub, yeah.
Yeah. I missed that one.
So back we go to Alexa, who has had a Metalwork Colossus in hand for a long time, but also just off near the bottom of the screen earlier this game there were like 4 or 5 artifacts sitting there.
No, he doesn't have an artifact. He can't do it.
Right, we need to just check there, Rashad, if you could. Looks like he's gone for Authority of the Consoles with only Spire of Industry.
Maybe he had the white mana before.
Did he?
Oh, maybe. Oh no, because he sacrificed with the black. No, he didn't have the white mana.
Yeah, we don't believe he can cast the Authority of the Consoles. So before, so we should.
Yeah, because he
get
played.
That checked.
He used the red mana to cast sacrifice the Industry, but he didn't have a floating white. Unless I missed something, but I'm pretty sure he did not have it.
Sounds like it's being explained down there, so...
We're not there at the table, so and we don't have the audio, but he I'm pretty sure he didn't have the white floating.
Yeah, he's indicating the implement of combustion, saying that the implement was there, presumably, and that he tapped it for white. But
I think the sequence was a little different.
Okay, chat seems to agree with you, Raf, that there was no white. But it looks like we're paused now while they try and resolve that. So I imagine a judge will get involved very shortly.
You mentioned earlier that Tower of Industry would never be an issue. The Spire of Industry would never be a
for Alexa. Yeah.
Actually, it is.
Oh look, shocker.
Just to prove you're wrong.
Just checking.
I like that.
Just checking. When I said that, weren't there like 5 artifacts in play? 5, Raf. How safe do you have to be?
But you said never. Never is 0%. That's not 0%.
Is never 0%?
Oh yeah, never 0%.
Isn't it statistically like at or near 0%? Never?
No, never is never. Almost never is not 0.
Oh, that's true.
0 is never.
Oh dear. They're going to rewind because that Authority of the Consoles is not acceptable. It's never acceptable, Raf, when you have no white mana there. Happy?
What? You still cannot do it. What?
Yes, now what are they doing?
No, what? Oh, okay. They're rewinding.
Was that you rewinding?
That's the rewinding. That's the old school rewinding.
That was great.
Doesn't do that time with DVDs, but... kind of did that with tapes. Ooh.
Okay. Meanwhile,
I'm not sure why he actually placed the Authority. He's not playing against Saheeli, and this is not like the card's not actually great in that matchup.
I have friends in chat, Raf. Storm Shudder says, from an empiric probability standpoint, there is no never, only almost never. I was using never in an empiric probability standpoint sense, obviously. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Alexei Talarov has an authority of the consoles and a renegade map against 6 energy, which fuels one throw of the dice, one spin of the wheel, whatever you want to call it, on the Marvel Aetherworks, or 2 Whirl of Virtuoso tokens, but unsurprisingly, it's going to be the Marvel. We see a Disallow, we see a Torrential Gear Hulk. There, it's Torrential Gear Hulk that's going to come to fruition. Meanwhile, Harness Lightning is going to not have a target other than his own Torrential Gear Hulk, but it's just 3 extra energy.
And 5 extra damage.
Right. And at that point, Arne Huschenbeth says, let's make that 1-1. And after all the authority of the console's confusion, that's game. And second set to Arne Huschenbeth.
That's not how a referee would say that. Set.
No, they don't. They go game, second set. You always do game first.
They don't say it like, oh, now it's game set to this guy. It's set. This is a little more formal.
Okay.
It's a gentleman's sport.
I'll work on that. That is true.
Yeah.
So, Niels Norlander against Federico Delbasso. It's Timatau on the left, Mardu Ballista on the right, and we've joined it early in game number 3. The Mardu Ballista Toolcraft Exemplar in the graveyard for Delbasso. He has the Thraben Inspector down. Clues already been and gone. So we're actually pretty advanced in a sense. Norlander with 5 cards in hand right now. We'll check that the life totals are correct, but it certainly looks like they may well be. How reactive a hand does Federico Delbasso have to have Norlander only 19 after 4-5 turns? Huh.
Well, he probably boarded in the Planeswalker plan, which relies a lot more on guess what? Planeswalkers.
Right. Is that why they call it the Planeswalker plan?
I think so.
Neat.
So it's Nahiri, it's Chandra, Torch of Defiance.
Yeah, there's 1 Nahiri to bring in, 2 Chandra, Torch of Defiance to bring in. Obviously, 4 Gideon Ally of Zendikar already in the main deck. Norlander sends 2 to the bottom with his Glimmer of Genius as that resolves. So we'll draw 2 random cards.
Nahiri is a problem for tower because, well, they can't use the tower any way they want anymore. Like, they can't kill a creature during a combat step, for example, because Nahiri can destroy the tower. So they have to wait till the end of the turn to shoot, and that's why Nahiri is pretty good against tower.
So here is Dynavolt Tower. And Norlander has 3 mana, which is enough for Disallow, so he has some measure of protection right now, but not from what's currently on the board. Certainly seen Nahiris go very, very high on loyalty over the course of some standard games. There's no necessity necessarily to be going ultimate.
Now getting a Thraben Inspector is usually not the way to go. I'm pretty sure there are situations where you have to go for the Inspector, draw a card, and look for the, I don't know, Disintegration, for example, just for the last 3 damage, otherwise you're dead.
Right. So there's a shock coming from Norlander, which is going to aim at initially Delbasso and then get redirected onto Nahiri, which Norlander very carefully represents for us. Yeah, just to confirm, in our main match, the players are still shuffling for game number 3. We will go back there for you as soon as we get the opportunity once they're underway. And now shoot again from Norlander. That puts Nahiri down to 3. Norlander.
Right. Incendiary Flow will finish off Nahiri.
Yeah, it's an interesting card, that, because the spots where it's great, it's really, really good, and you're super happy to have it. I play quite a bit of Timatau, and it's really great, but most lists only have 1 copy in the main. Some have none. Yeah, it's... doesn't seem quite enough room at the inn for as many of those as you might want. Yeah, and just looking at Norlander's list, it's 1 incendiary flow, main, none out of the board.
Nahiri down.
So that's pretty impressive from Norlander, because it didn't feel like he had to do an awful lot to get rid of Nahiri. It felt like reasonably, hey, here's a shock, here's a Dynavolt tower, you know, just...
Yeah, because Federico did not have any threats on the board. So that's why then it felt a little effortless for Niels to take care of Nahiri. But if he was beaten down by more creatures or more threats, then that would have been another story.
Yeah, and we've got Archangel Avacyn coming down, but Norlander's all over this with the Harness Lightning. Now, we're just checking on energy with the Ether Hub. Looks like that
so
may
he
be the
had
question.
1 plus 4 plus... No, plus... So he had the 1 before he cast the spell. So you go up to 3, 6, minus... Yeah, that's right. I think that's right.
Yeah, there's exactly 1 too many hands in that shot, which means that that's almost certainly a judge bottom right.
So just to count again, he had two energy from the Incendiary Flaw. So he used the 1 to get the red mana. So he has a 1. He plays Harness Lightning. He goes up to 3.
Goes up to 4.
To 3 with the tower.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And then
6 with the Harness
6
Lightning.
with the Harness Lightning.
Yep.
Minus 4 to kill Avacyn, so it's 2.
Yep. I think your math is approximately correct.
It's always correct.
Always?
Yeah, well, it's...
But of course, from an empirical probability standpoint, we mean almost
always, yeah. You follow my logic. That's
it is great stuff to have Hall of Famer Raphael Levy guiding us through these twists and turns of the standard format, which does, of course, feature all the Mardu Ballista decks and a lot of 4-color Saheeli. That is the story here again this weekend. Those are the big 2. No lies, not sugarcoating it for you. Those are the big 2, and they're staying that way, it seems. To be honest, looking at the top metagame that we looked at from the sort of top 100 or so lists, in a way, the surprise was just how far Black-Green had fallen off the radar. More and more people seem to be in on the big 2. But we will show you as many different decks as we can as the day progresses, as we wait to see what happens, whether we're almost back in action in our main match with a bit of luck. Looks like maybe there was some mulligans going on down there, because they still seem to be just shuffling away. Meanwhile, Planeswalker time. It's Gideon.
There was an option to... play Chandra first, add mana, and play Gideon to just overflow the board with Planeswalkers. He does have Anguish in Making, so he's gonna kill the tower now.
Mm-hmm.
No? Oh, okay. Oh.
So Norlander untaps and now has...
no targets for Release the Gremlins, which is convenient.
Huh. He's got Disallow. He's got a Glimmer of Genius, Harness Lightning.
I don't see
Release the Gremlins.
Yeah, I don't see the reason why not to kill the tower. Tower is way too threatening here. Oh, playing this. Okay.
Wants to get some threats going.
Okay. Well.
Looks to me like they are still shuffling on table 1, and that suggests to me that there has been multiple mulligans. We'll try and get a sense. As I say, we will go there as soon as they're kicking off.
Glimmer response. No.
Harness Lightning for the token. Can I have some energy?
That seems okay.
So now they're doing the math very carefully, having had that little confusion earlier. And it's up to 7, and then kill, and then Dynavolt Tower. And Federico Delbasso just checking.
So it goes down to... Gideon goes down... No, it goes down to 2. That's right. before it resolves. Because once the Gideon effect resolves, Gideon becomes a creature, is indestructible, and cannot be dealt damage. Well, it can be dealt damage, but they won't do much.
Mm-hmm. So he activates Shambling Vent.
That's a lot of threats on the board. That's a lot more than Timur Tower can deal with.
How fast was that from Delbasso? That anguished unmaking. Talk about instant speed, my word. Norlander gets to look at an Attune with Ether and a land. They're both going to go away. This is done. Let's get out of here. Let's get you back to our main match.
I don't see Niels coming back in this game.
No, and we're not going to see Niels coming back in this game because we're going to the match between Alexa Telerov and Arne Huschenbeth. Let's get to it. We're underway. Prophetic Prism for... No! Don't go there. Yes, there. That's where... Oh, that was exciting. And you saw a caravan briefly appear, but Obsolescence sends it packing. And we saw how bad that was for Alexa in the previous game, Raf, where he just couldn't keep the artifacts on the board.
Yeah, the problem I feel with Blue-Black Colossus is that it suffers from the collateral damage from the Mardu side, for the sideboard against Mardu.
Right, so they release the gremlins, Here I Come to Kill Your Heart of Kieran, or Natural Obsolescence, or Natural State, or whatever.
Yeah, and sometimes they have, for example, like a little mix of everything. Akko, let's have Appetite for a natural, and one of these, just extra, just to make sure they have targets against every deck. And then against you, they just board them all in, because they will have targets, and that will really mess with your plan.
So Rogue Refiner added to with Whirl of Virtuoso. Huschenbeth with 5 energy. Remember, 6 is the magic number for the Teamer deck because that's the activation on an Aetherworks Marvel.
And 11 is the magic number for...
And Alexa's heading in the right direction. I mean, once again, 5... Count them 5 artifacts in play. He lays a Spire of Industry. That's never going to get turned off, is it, Raf?
Oh, yeah, almost never. Oh, no, it will always work. That's what...
Oh, okay. In comes Huschenbeth.
That's a lot of pressure.
Right, 6 damage. Already at 9. Servant of the Conduit.
With a...
Energy up to 4.
With a counter backup.
Wow. This is going to go to Arne Huschenbeth by the looks of things. But we'll see. We'll also see if any of our other tables are still going. We haven't really had a chance to step into Javier Dominguez against Remy Fortier. 2 tremendous players. Looks to me like they're still going in their match.
So what are you going to draw with? So if you draw with the archive, you don't have enough mana to cast your Colossus afterwards. Well, you might have it, but not enough to have the negate backup.
The thing is, he's at 9, and there's 8 damage already on the table, plus a potential 1 extra from another flyer. So the metal spinner's puzzle knot is enough to make him lose out as well. 2 cards, Glint Nest Crane and a Spire of Industry.
Well, the Crane's pretty good here. It's an extra blocker. Might get you the Colossus.
But Arne could see how disallow, right?
Yeah.
And with Telerov with just 1 mana.
No, he has the Caravan. He can negate.
Oh, okay, sure.
But then he cannot play the Colossus right afterwards.
Right. So he gets the Glint Nest Crane.
And he gets... What's the red card? Oh, Radiant Flames.
Radiant Flames, yep.
That's what he needed.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the mana. And he's...
Or the card in hand.
No, but he does have a 1/3 blocker again. So potentially he gets to hang around 1 more turn. And that 1 more turn might be what he needs.
I really like that card, the Spy of Industry.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a very good fixer. Opens up for a lot of options. I like it in Mardu, for example.
Okay. Yep.
Well, of course I like it in Mardu, but like it makes the Mardu deck work.
So it's a really important piece of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Beth draws. Oh, and has lumbering falls as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In theory, he's got Alexa dead here, right?
Fatal push, maybe.
Fatal push is about all that he has to be imagining Tarov has.
Even then, you still attack for everything.
So, I attack, and there's the handshake, and Arn Huschenbeth goes to 4-0 with Team Marvel. Alexa Tarov begins with a loss.
It's your time to shine.
Okay, I'll see if I can do this. Game, set, match. Arn Huschenbeth by 2-1.
Yeah, it's okay.
Was it is still not gentlemanly enough?
Yeah, it's not formal enough.
Wow, I'm British and I got accused of not being formal enough.
You need a tie. You need a tie or something.
Okay, so it turns out Niels Norlander's still alive. How did that happen? Answer, Torrential Gear Hulk. That's how that happened. Meanwhile, there's Chandra Torch Defiance at 6, and let's not forget that that just deals damage straight to the face.
Wow, we missed a big thing in this game.
You're looking at Federico Delbasso with his head in his hands.
What happened?
He's 21-4 ahead, but Norlander has 3 cards. Now, what is it? What are his 3 cards? There's a Mountain, there's a Harness Lightning, and is that Glimmer?
Yeah, Glimmer.
Glimmer of Genius.
So we could kill Chandra. That's a tough game because then there's a Scrabby Scrounger that's coming back. He cannot both attack.
There's a Shambling Vent as well.
Yeah, he cannot attack Chandra with both because he's short 1 man. No, he's yeah, but then now he's dead. He's just dead on board.
Right, so he... Yeah, and there's the handshake, and there we are. So we got there in time for Federico Delbasso to claim the victory. He goes to 4-0. Niels Norlander, the Magic Online champion from last year, didn't do as well this time around. But we're going to get into the back end of the round, and I can tell you that Javier Dominguez and Remy Fortier, who you see on the left of screen, they are still going at it, which means we get a chance to bring you some bonus magic. We'll get over there just as soon as we can. You see Stephen Leeming sitting down, going to take care of the live totals for us, so we'll get you into that match just as soon as we can. Javier Dominguez with his trademark pen flick, which he just routinely does throughout the match. Looks like Gideon's just dying. He's got a Gideon token there. We'll see if we can get to the overhead for you in just a moment as well. Probably once we've got life bar all set up. Javier Dominguez sitting there. There's
You can see a lot of creatures on Remy's side.
green and red oaths on Remy's side of the board. Oath of Nissa, Oath of Chandra.
30 of the council and a Gideon token. That doesn't look good. As soon as we have the life totals, we have the proper view of the battlefield. Is that how it works, Rich?
Yeah, something like that. I think what we might do, we might see if we can just go to the overhead without life bar right now. I'm not sure that 2020 is correct, but we'll worry about that anon. We want to just show you the battlefield.
Bristling Hydra.
Wow. And here's Felidar Guardian coming down. And that energy, he's got 4 energy by the looks of things. That's going to be super good. Yeah. And that's fantastic with a Bristling Hydra, of course. Fortier draws a tireless tracker. Javier Dominguez sitting with almost nothing. This has got to be Fortier's for the taking, regardless of what the actual life total is. 27-9. Okay, well, it makes sense that Fortier was behind. Here's Oath of Liliana for Javier Dominguez. But the board position here are super dominating for Remy, right?
It's not going to take long. Like 3 turns? 2 or 3 turns? A Chandra? Oh, yeah, probably 2. It's 2, 3, 4, 7, 11. Yeah.
Yeah, and Javier's the body language of Javier Dominguez there is like, I'm going to make a shambling vent, stick it in front of something, gain a bit of life, take a ton of damage.
Take 8, go down to 20, play Chandra, take 2 more. Oh no, kill the shambling vent, still take 2 more.
And this is going to be the handshake, I think.
Let me use the Forest, Plains, Sanctum, and Mountain to cast the Chandra. The best way to cast the Chandra.
Javier has 8 land permanents. Remy Fortier has 8 non-land permanents. I think that's the tale of this one.
Oh, Sorin. Well, that's not going to help much, but
no.
I was just mentioning that.
Nice to see.
I was just mentioning it. Remy had Ossof Nissa to cast the Chandra. That's why if you notice that he didn't have 2 mountains then.
Right. Javier just making sure
that it doesn't do anything. Yep. Boom. You take 0. And I gain 0. And I get a zombie.
Yes. Yes, we're going to give you an actual zombie for all the time that it's going to be there. Except the zombie that isn't there is about to get harness lightninged. Okay. Too late. No.
It's dead.
It's dead. But you know, that zombie sat in a case all over Europe for months for that bit of on-camera time.
Yeah.
Ah.
What's his name?
Harry.
Harry the zombie?
Yeah.
He didn't have lethal here. Get tapped, gain 1 life. 19. Everybody's going to take care of business.
And Remy Fortier just administering the last rites in this one right now. Which, to be fair, is what we thought when we left Federico Delbasso. He did eventually go on to defeat Niels Norlander.
And here's the handshake.
And there we go. So, Remy Fortier, Pro Tour champion from France, is victorious. Federico Delbasso of Italy over Niels Norlander. Arne Huschenbeth with Team of Marvel over Alexa Talarov with Blue-Black Colossus. So that's what's been going on in round number 4. Now, a lot of you have been asking about our good friend from Australia, Mr. Riley Knight. I can tell you that he is here in the building. He is locked and ready to go. He will be with you in round number 5 alongside Matej Big Z Zadelkai, and then Matej and Raf will hold the reins through round number 6. And in the later rounds, we'll have some time walk magic as well for you with the back end of the feature matches, where I'll be in the booth with special guests from around the tournament, time walk with the pros coming your way in the later rounds today. And don't forget, Grand Prix New Jersey is heading your way both today and tomorrow. As soon as we're done here, we'll go dark on the stream just for 1 or 2 minutes, literally while we get down and New Jersey gets up on the Magic channel, and then we'll be done. So that was the story of round number 4, and we'll be back with round number 5.